Yeah, you guys can just mute yourselves, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I don't know how to do that.
so anyway, the reason why I called this meeting, John actually, this was his idea. John wanted us to get together, just basically, to go through the comp plan. Just systematically, we'll explain all 4 ways that we're paid and make sure everyone's clear. It's pretty simple, but there is a little bit of confusion. So we'll go through it all. I'm going to share the screen. Welcome everybody that's joining. And everyone that's joining, feel free to just mute yourself. Okay, here we go. Okay, can everybody see that? Okay. All right. So what? It says my internet connection is unstable. Hopefully it's okay. John, at any point, feel free to interrupt, interject, anything like that you want me to go over. Okay. But I'll just start. Okay. So the first way we get paid. This is the simple thing to explain here. Most people don't have any confusion with this, but we'll start here. Okay. So here's the first thing I'll say, because this question comes up, so I'm going to preempt it. It doesn't matter, first and foremost, which level you come in at in terms of what you're able to earn. Whether you come in at this 249 level right here, or you come in at the 499 level, either way, you can earn the compensation exactly the same. Because the way they have this example here, some people think in order for you to qualify for this 250 fast start over here, that you yourself have to come in at this level. And that's incorrect. It doesn't matter. That's just the example that they give. And it kind of does appear that way. I understand why people think that. But it doesn't matter how you come in. No matter how you come in every facet that we earn here, you earn exactly the same way, first and foremost. Now, the example here is very simple. When you're a wine lover, when you're a business partner with us, however you came in at either level, when someone comes in at the $500 level, you get 50% fast start commission, or $250 per person that you sign up. If you come in at if you get someone that comes in at the 250 level, you earn 50% or $125 fast start commission on that person. And it doesn't matter. There's no time limit to this. This is also another thing of confusion. Some people ask me this, is that only good for the first 30 days or whatever? No, it goes on forever. As long as you are a business partner, you continue to earn these fast starts every time you enroll someone in. There's no limit to how many people. It's not limited to 2. It's not limited to your first 30 days or anything like that. So very simply, no matter which way you came in, doesn't matter. If you sign someone up at this level, you get $250. If you sign someone up at this level, you get $125. That's it. It's as simple as it could be. Anyone have any questions about that whatsoever? Okay. All right. I'm going to move on.
Yeah, I think that's good. Just that every level of it, you just see if anyone has questions.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and John, if you can kind of maybe remain unmuted, that way I'm not talking to myself. We can talk as I'm going through this.
Okay.
That would be
I
good.
have one question on that. I had somebody ask me, when you get paid that, is it a week later? Is it 2 weeks later? It's not immediately?
Good question. Okay. And every way that we earn, okay, we get paid once a week. Okay, so anything you earn, our pay period goes from Thursday at midnight Eastern time until the following Wednesday at 11:59 p.m. Eastern time. Anything that you earn from any level of the pay plan, whether it's fast start, dual team, unilevel, or check batch, no matter how you earn it, anything you earn by Wednesday at 11:59 p.m. Eastern, you're getting paid on it the following Friday. So not in 2 days, but 9 days. You know what I mean? So it's 9 days. And then, of course, by the time it actually hits your bank account, it's more like 13 days by the time it's actually spendable in your checking. That's the turnaround. It's basically a 13-day turnaround from the time the pay period cuts off till it's actually in your checking. But they pay it out in 9 days but by the time it hits your checking over the weekend and stuff on Tuesdays, it's 13.
Do you
But that's with
think it will-
every way that we earn.
Yeah.
Every way that we earn. Everything's paid the exact same way. Now, as far as
Real
customer thing right here, the $79.95 and $49.95, it's not really relevant to us because we're more or less talking about this from a business perspective, what we can earn. The way that, and I'm going to talk about customer volume in a second, like how we actually earn on customers. I'll talk about that in a second. But this is just talking about, if someone wants to select just being a customer, that's what this is about right here. And the only thing I'll point out here is that not only can we earn our wine for free by having 3 customers, but customers can earn their wine for free as well. They can't earn any money, but they can earn their wine for free if they have 3 active customers. And it doesn't matter. You can have 3 2-bottle customers or, 2 2-bottle customers and 1 4-bottle customer. It doesn't matter. If you have 3 active customers, by the last day of the month, the following month, your wine is free. Your 4-bottle order is free. Okay, so that's the way that works. It works the same way. Hearing some feedback. I don't know how it is, but if you're not talking, if you don't mind muting yourself, I'd appreciate it.
Hey, do you know what? Hey, you can press, Derek, press participants and you can mute everyone.
Okay.
Like if you do participants on the bottom, you can mute everyone if you want.
Okay. Hang on.
I have a question.
Yes.
So you say that, okay, I know that as distributors, if we sign up 3 wine members, we get our wine for free. And you said if the members get 3 people, they get their wine for free. How do they keep track of that? Like how
does
that's the part I'm confused about.
How does corporate keep track of that?
Well, so say I signed up, my mom wanted to buy wine and she just wanted to be a wine member.
Yes.
And then she found 3 friends that wanted to be a wine member.
Mm-hmm.
How are they signing up under her
Oh,
to
gotcha.
get the free?
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yep, I do. Yep, good question. So when someone signs up as a customer, they also have an online portal, just like we do, to where they can refer people. They have a link that they can send people to, and they can access their back office as well. It looks different than our back office does. It doesn't show commissions and things like that because they're unable to earn it. But they get a back office to where they can log into as well, just like us. So they can track their orders, see when something is shipped, that kind of thing. And of course, they have a link that, I don't know what, oops, hang on. There we go. Sorry. They have a link, just like we do, that we can send out to people where they can share their link and someone can sign up as a customer. Now, if they sign up, here's an interesting point about this. If a customer sends their link out to someone and they're like, I don't want to be a customer. I want to be a business partner. This looks great. They don't get that fast start commission. The computer searches up to find the first business partner up from that customer and gives that person the fast start commission. That's the way that works. But they just send out a link just like we do. They get a link to where they can log into their back office, see their orders, send out a link to someone to sign up as a customer or whatever. They get a link just like we do.
Okay, so you share that every time you sign up a member. You say, hey, I know you're just doing this to try our wine, but just so you know, if one of your friends wanted to join, you could send your link and get your wine for free as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. If I have someone that signs up as a customer, they certainly know that. I make them aware of that for sure.
Tell them. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Derek, I got one
people
quick question.
And they'll get an email stating that. They'll get an email with their welcoming them and their login information and all that. So, it's not like if we don't tell them, they won't know. They'll get an email. Just like,
okay. Well, if they read it. Okay.
Right, of course. Yes, John.
So the computer, when you get 3 customers as a distributor, the computer generates it and they don't charge you and they just charge you $15 and you get your wine? Or do you have to let them know that you got 3? So it goes all on the computer like that?
Yeah, it does. You don't have to contact them and be like, hey, don't charge me or anything like that. It's all done automatically. Once you have 3 active customers, say by January 31st, whatever date your February shipment goes out, you'll just be charged $15 for that instead of $79.95 automatically. Yeah,
Got
it
it.
requires nothing additional on your part.
Got it. Thank you.
Yep.
You're on camera. There's people here.
Okay, I'm going to move to the dual team now. Now, this is where we might have to have more of a discussion, but it's really not that complicated. Okay, so here's the thing. In the dual team, also known as the binary to some people, you'll hear people call it a binary, but however you want to call it, we are earning anywhere from 6% to 20% commission on the weak leg volume. Okay, now, so you have a left team and a right team. Chances are, depending upon where you fall, you're going to have help with one of those teams. You're going to have something called upline spillover. Now, this happens a lot of times. Someone will sign up and they'll be like, I'm getting emails of people being placed underneath me, and I don't know where these people are coming from. Okay, well, let me back up for a second. Before I get into the structure thing, let me say this. The only business volume that gets funneled through the binary is brand new business volume. Whether you sign up a brand new business partner or you sign up a brand new customer. Either way, their initial order, the very first order that they place, that is the volume that gets put through the binary. The second order and all subsequent orders thereafter, all of that gets put through the unilevel. Okay, only their initial order is put through the binary. And that's why they're able to pay to infinity. Because some people may ask, you can only split up $1 so many ways. How can you possibly pay to infinity? And the answer is because the only volume being funneled through the binary is the initial volume that's generated by a new business partner sign up or a new customer sign up. Okay, first and foremost. Now, let me back up to the structure aspect of it. Okay, so let's say I bring in my wife, Sherry. She's sitting right here off camera. So let's say she's in number 1 spot, okay? And let's say I put John Goodman in my number 2 spot. I just sponsored John, and I'm fired up about it because he's awesome. So those are my first 2 people. Now, let's say if I bring in Josie Ann, for example. Well, there's only 2 places here. There's a team left and a team right, 1 and 2. So where would Josie Ann go? I would have to put her in the next available spot in my group. So, you know, which would be there or there, whatever. Like, it depends. This is showing spillover already happened. So, but anyways, so Josie Ann would have to fall under Sherry because there's only two sides. So then all of a sudden, Sherry might ask me, hey, who's this Josie Ann person? How did this person show up in my business? The reason is because I put in Sherry here. I put in John here in the 2 slot. So the next person that comes in has to fall under either Sherry or John. Let's say if I had it set to this side first, then it would fall under Sherry. So that's where this person's coming from. So if you're brand new and you're seeing mystery people showing up under you, this is why, because it's called spillover. You know, so someone up here is putting someone in and it has to fall on one of their sides. So it's falling under, you know, this whole lineage of people. Now, let's say if I'm still building this side over here where I put Josie Ann. Let's say I put in Brenda and I'm still just focused on my left side. Well, Brenda would fall under here, under Josie Ann, under Sherry, and under me. So now, you know, Josie Ann's 2 people. She has no idea what's going on. And now Brenda is seeing someone new, and she's like, oh, this is sweet. You know, so that's how that spillover effect occurs, okay? Is everyone clear on the spillover part? Does anyone have any questions?
But they're not personally sponsored, right?
No, they're not personally sponsored. You retain the personal sponsorship of them. So you're still getting whoever you is right here in this example, okay, which is me in this example. You know, I retain personal sponsorship of Sherry, of John, of Josie Ann, of Brenda. I retain the personal sponsorship, but there's no other place in the structure for them to be placed except under them. So that's why they're getting volume credit within the binary also, because they had to fall under her. But I'm retaining personal sponsorship for all other facets of the comp plan, the fast start, the unilevel, the check match, all those other things. It's still on, it's still me. It's still, I retain personal sponsorship. But as far as the binary is concerned, they can only be placed on my left or right. So after I get one person on each side, naturally, as I continue putting in my 9 people, to get the master seller and to earn that 20% and to top it off, I need 9 people personally sponsored.
All on the left.
So as I'm putting these people in, they're falling under others. So that's what they mean by the term spillover. When people are seeing spillover, that's what they're talking about.
Hey, Derek.
Yes.
So where does spillover originate? So for example, if I was put on your team as well, maybe I was in the 1 or 2 spots there. Spillover comes from you, but do I receive spillover for anyone above my direct upline?
Okay, let's say if you're in the number 1 spot here, okay, let's say I'm right here, and let's say I already have someone in the number 2 spot. So if I'm putting in my 3rd person and it falls under you, so I'm giving you spillover, okay? Now imagine if you draw another line above me and there's another circle up here, okay? Well, that person also just has a left and right team. So they're contributing to one side of my leg. They're not contributing to both of my legs. They're contributing to one side. So if you happen to be lucky enough to be on this side, you're getting contributions not only from me, but everyone else above me in this lineage in a straight line as they're putting people in their left team. They're all falling underneath.
So my husband he's on his upline's right leg, which is their strong leg, and he put me on his weak leg.
Okay.
And so I'm not getting any spillover. So spillover is up to me or up to him.
You'll get spillover.
Up to him to build on the left side.
Right. He'll be the only one contributing to your spillover in your particular instance. Yes.
Got it.
Right.
Yeah.
Derek,
Yes.
one more. So let's just say this is me right here. I could get, where you are, the U, and then up is like Trey, and then you, and then Austin. Can you get people from Austin all the way down there?
Absolutely.
You can, okay.
Yeah, it depends. Like in her
I'm in the strong.
situation, no. But if you're in that power leg structure in that one lineage, then you're getting help from not just you, but the people above.
All the way up?
All the way up.
Yeah, because I'm on that line, so I'm wondering if I get all the way from up there.
Yeah, but see what happens is, in that case, what happens is usually there's so many people contributing to it and other people are building their inside legs that leg starts creating so much volume that other people above start focusing on their inside legs because there's already enough volume there and it pays on a 1-to-1 ratio. So everyone is working on balancing that. So that's why that would seem to slow down sometimes.
Like right now. Because people are working on their weak leg. So eventually the weak leg gets bigger, then they got to start piling people on the back on the strong.
That's right. Yeah. So as everyone starts matching their balancing requirements, they start getting closer to that 1-to-1 ratio. You're going to start seeing other people start recontributing to that line again because it mathematically makes sense for them to do so. Because your strategy is always focused on placing people on your weakest volume leg. Obviously, it's a 1-to-1 ratio, and let's say if you max this out, master seller, you're getting 20%. Okay, well if you're getting 5,000 in volume on this side and 4,500 on your team right, then you're going to continue adding people to your team right until it matches as closely as possible. You're always going to be putting people in your weakest volume leg, because you're getting paid on the weakest volume. So if you're getting 20% of 4,500 because you get paid 20% of your weaker side leg, why would you add anyone to your leg that has 5,000? You're not being paid for that, other than your fast start and all that other stuff and unilevel, but we're not there yet. in terms of the binary, you're always going to be strategized. That's why it's a really easy strategy. People get confused. They're like, do I put them on my left or my right? It's like, open up your back office, see which number's smaller, and you put them on that side. It's
Do
simple.
you choose what side they go on, or do
Yes.
you automatically go? You do.
You are in complete control. You log into your back office, and the way you do that is you go under member settings and club member settings, and then you can choose left leg or right leg. Okay. So yeah. Was someone else going to ask?
Does the
Go ahead.
does the spillover always go on the same leg?
Typically speaking, yes. Yeah. It usually is always, you're basically, you're going to get help with building one leg. So the other leg is pretty much your responsibility. Now, unless you're like in her case, to where her husband's contributing to her spillover, but it's still always going to be just on one side for her. Her interior leg, she's going to have to be building that. So you're basically going to always be getting spillover just on one side. No matter who you are or where you fall, you should be getting help with one leg. Some people will be getting more help than others. It depends on, who's above them and how active they are and all that kind of thing. But I always tell people this, like, for instance, when I came into this business, September 1st, I didn't care where I was being placed. I didn't say, well, am I on your strong leg or am I on your weak leg? Like for me, the way I look at it is if I get help, great. But I'm not counting on help. It is my business. I plan on building both legs. I'm going to be, strategizing the volume in such a way to balance them out. If I got to switch back and forth, fine. I'm not expecting someone to build half of my business for me. Any help I do get is a bonus. People get into a mindset of they're expecting sometimes, some people sometimes get into a mindset of where they're basically demanding of you. Well, you place me here or you place me there. It's like, it's my business. Like, no offense. I don't mean sound like an a-hole here, but I got to put people, I have my own bills to pay. I have my own mouths to feed. I have to put people where it best profits me because it's my business. You have my commitment that I'm going to help you and I'm going to support you. I'm going to do everything I can to help you be profitable as well. But you can't let the tail wag the dog. You can't let people dictate to you where they're going to, be placed. It doesn't work that way. Just like as they're building their business, if they have 10,000 volume on this side and 1,000 on their right team, and they're putting someone in that's going to do well, if they're demanding that they go on the side of 10,000, I'll be like, no, sorry, I'm putting you over here because this is where I need you in my business. In fact, this is where I'm completely focused on building right now because this leg has already taken on a life of its own. I am focused over here. I am putting you in the leg where I am putting all of my attention and all of my focus right now. So that's where you want to be. Because what happens is if someone like that makes that demand and you acquiesce and you put them in this big leg, now all of a sudden it's big for everyone. So guess what? Everyone's building their inside leg. Now no one's contributing to that power leg, if you want to call it that. And then these people are expecting all this massive help because it's your big leg. And they're like, well, where's all the help? Like, John was just saying, everyone else is building their inside legs, so they're not getting that help anyway. So, people are shooting themselves in their own foot. You will be putting people where it best suits you, and they will be, and if everyone just does that, if everyone just does what's best for them, in the long run, it's what's best for everybody. It's beautiful how it works out. But if everyone just focuses on, the 1-to-1 ratio and placing people where, it best makes mathematical sense for them to do so. If everyone does that, it works out beautifully for everyone. Go ahead. You were raising your hand. Did you have another question?
I have one. I don't know who's raising their hand, but when you go to the back office and you can do the auto link, so you can just sign up right there. Yeah. A lot of times it's like on the inside leg or in a weird place, but the auto link isn't available all the time for your outside leg.
Yeah, here's the thing for that. I have a very strong opinion about that. I do not like the auto link at all. I don't think it should ever be used. I mean, maybe one time out of 1,000 in a weird situation, like if you have a spouse that you're really trying to help because you're also gaining, you have a financial interest off of that person doing well, and you want to help them build their interior leg or something. But I am against that. I don't even like the fact that they came out with that. But it is offered, even in our a lot of us are involved in the same other previous company. And, that's available. You can place people wherever you want to place them. I suppose they have to make that an option because they need to give you full control of your business. So you can place people specifically where you want. But if everyone just builds left or right, then you're not building inside. Because what happens, let's say if I put you in this, let's say if I put my wife Sherry in this number 1 spot. Let's not say my wife. Let's just say someone named Sherry, okay, in this number 1 spot. Now, let's say if she has stuff going on over here, it's not my job to build Sherry's inside leg. I'm already contributing to one leg. I can't help her build both of her legs. I got my own business to build. I got 2 legs to build. I can't be building her 2 legs and this person's 2 legs. And then all of a sudden people are really going to start making demands and it gets crazy. And what if this person quits right here and I happen to put someone right here that would fall right here? Now this person right here is getting no help from anybody because they're in no man's land. The one person they had above them quit because that person wanted help with both legs anyway, and they had that kind of an attitude. So, those are the type of people that likely quit anyways. So now she's here in no man's land, getting no help from anybody, from, no spillover. So it's a crappy strategy. So I disagree. I would always say left or right. That way everyone's contributing to one power leg by doing that strategy. Either way, left or right. It's always falling under somebody. No one's being put in a no man's land. So I would never, ever do that. Only some really bizarre circumstance might that be, an acceptable strategy. But I would always, suggest not doing that and always just choosing left or right, always. So I would never use that link. And you don't have to worry about a specific link for an outside leg. Because if you choose left or right, they're always going to fall at the bottom of the outside. You don't need a specific link for that. That's where they
I agree with you so much.
Okay.
Couldn't agree more either. I got caught in a bad leg in the other one.
Right.
Just put them on the right and left. That's it.
And if everyone does that, if everyone just does left or right, and they do so in their weakest leg, and everyone follows that simple strategy, then no one ever wonders what they need to be doing. It's very simple to follow, and it's most profitable for everybody involved. It's the simplest way to do it. It's the most profitable way to do it. Left or right, whichever one's weaker, that's where you're putting them in, and you continue monitoring whichever leg is weaker, and that's where your focus is. And your focus can switch from week to week. It happens. My right leg used to be my weak leg. Now it's my ridiculously strong leg. And there's because people like Priscilla and everyone else is in my group. So now I'm like, okay, now I got to build my left leg. Go ahead.
I have a question for you. So now that you're talking about that.
Yeah.
So what about the carryover volume? Because I have a ton of carryover volume, but I always ask Joe what I'm supposed to do. And he said to keep it on my right leg, even though my right leg currently is a lot more than my left, which was my weak leg, and now it's my strong leg. But he said to keep it there because of my carryover. So I'm just so confused about that.
Well, this is the way I look at it. This is the way I do it. When I'm looking at my volume, I look at, the furthest column to the right shows your total volume, including carryover. Your TLV and the TRV, your total left leg or whatever it is, total left volume, TLV and TRV, total left volume, total right volume. Those are the numbers I look at. I don't worry about the carryover. Whichever numbers are highest on the furthest column to the right, wherever the biggest volume is, when I have someone else that I'm personally bringing in, I'm putting them in the smaller volume side. So I'm always, focused on that. So that's the way I do it. So I wouldn't look at like, well, this week, this leg's bigger than this one, but I have more carryover on this side. So I just look at the last two numbers, total left volume, total right volume. Whichever number is smallest, if I contribute to that smaller number by putting someone in, my paycheck is higher this week.
Okay.
Very simply, that's my strategy, and that's what I suggest everyone follow.
I have one
Okay.
question.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about carryover. Just look at the total number in real time, and whichever one's lower, that's where your next person is going in.
Okay.
That's
Thank
what I
you.
would suggest. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to move on, and we can always come back to this, okay? But let me say one more thing about this. Sorry. Let me say one more thing. Let me just give a quick example. So let's say you have 5,000 of volume on your left side and 4,500 on your right side. And let's say you're earning 20%. You'll get 20% of the 4,500, or you'll get $900 that week. Now the computer, just like an algebra equation, whatever it does on one side, it does on the other side. You monetize all 4,500 of this on this side, so your computer will do all 4,500 of that. You'll be left with 0. And on this side, it'll deduct 4,500 from your 5,000. So you'll have 500 in carryover volume on your left team going into the next week. That's how that works. That's how carryover works going into the next week. Just so you guys know how that works for those of you watching the recording and all that kind of stuff. That's how the recording works. So you don't lose any volume. It never flushes out. As long as you maintain active status, you won't lose that volume. And it just continues to add. Like right now in real time, my right leg with all my carryover volume, I literally have $250,000 in carryover volume in my right leg right now. And so obviously I'm completely focused on my left. No one's going to tell me to put one on my right. You know what I mean? They'll be like, you're crazy. You're going on my left, because that's where all my attention and focus is at. But that volume is just going to continue to accumulate until I match it. So I got a couple rock stars I'm bringing in on my left, so I hope to catch that up. But that's $45,000 in commissions waiting, to be monetized. Well, actually, $250,000 would be $50,000 in real commissions waiting to be monetized as soon as I do so. I'm very aggressively working on my left side right now. But, so it just got away from me. All these crazy leaders came in and blew it up. So, but that's a good problem to have. But anyways.
We have a question real quick. It says, do both the right and left side have the same equal volume to be paid full commissions? I think that's what she meant.
Okay, wait, say that again.
Do both the right and left side have to do the same equal volume to be paid full commissions?
No, just like I was saying in that example, 4,500 on one side, 5,000 on the left. Okay, they're not equal, but you're only going to monetize the lesser of the two legs. So whatever percent you qualify at, if you've put in 6 people personally that are active, then you qualify at the 14% commission rate. So you're going to be getting, in that example, 14% of the weaker leg volume. Nothing ever has to be anything. It is what it is. And it's never going to be that way. One leg's always going to be stronger than the other. It can switch from week to week, but one leg's always going to be stronger than the other. Whichever leg is least, the lesser volume leg, you're going to be getting paid whatever percentage you qualify at on the lesser leg. That's the way that works. So, and then whatever you don't monetize, whatever's left over, again, that's what gets carried over into the following week. So that's how that.
And just to double check real quick, sorry, for the dual pay,
Yes.
the people that are there and the volume that's generated, that's all basically initial customers or initial business builders for that given week. That's how those are the ones that contribute to that volume for that week.
Correct. That's exactly right. Yep. Just initial volume only. Now, all subsequent orders, second orders onward, whether it be from a business partner or a customer, This all gets paid in the unilevel. So for the purposes of the unilevel, forget that the dual team even exists. Okay, we just spent 20 minutes on it or whatever, but forget everything we just talked about just for a minute, okay? Because none of that matters anymore. It has nothing to do with what's going on here. So you might ask yourself, why in the world would I ever want to put in more than 9 people? Because I max out at 20%. If I have a 10th person that wants to come in, why wouldn't I just give it to someone? Other than getting that initial fast start bonus, like what would ever motivate you to do it? Well, this unilevel, this is the end game right here, because this is true residual income. From the second order until they're 100 years old, every order that they ever place every single month, all those commissions are being paid in the unilevel. So that's where the long-term residual income comes from. So, this is the end game here. So this pays the unlimited width. If you put in 9 people, all 9 people are on your first level, and you qualify at a 10% commission off whatever volume generated off your first level. So I just said you have 9. What if you have 20? What if you have 40? Me and Sherry has put in over 60 people ourselves. So, all of them is on our first line. It's unlimited width. Now, what happens is you can only split up $1 so many ways, okay? And that's why this is limited to 9 levels. It absolutely, because they're taking, of the same $1, they're taking 10% and paying it to one person, 5% of that $1 paying to someone else, another 5% to someone else, 4% to someone else. So they're taking all these percentages of $1. And if you add this up, it's 20, 28, 34, 38% of that $1 is being paid out from the second order onward through unilevel commissions. So that's where they have to stop it, okay? Because you can only, like I said, you got product to pay for, and the company's got to be prosperous and all that other stuff too. So 38% is being paid out of every $1 in the unilevel. And the way it breaks down is, you're getting 10% of everyone. Forget this check match for a minute. Don't even look at this. That's something else. Okay, I don't like the way they structure this in the comp plan. It looks like it's all kind of one thing or something like that. It's a completely separate way we get paid. But I understand why they do that, but we'll come back to that. So forget the check match, forget the dual team. We're just talking about the unilevel. It's unlimited width, and whatever genealogy happens as a result of, this is where spillover doesn't matter. This is why it isn't a Ponzi scheme, because whoever does the most work makes the most money. If I put in 60 people because I'm out there killing it and I'm committed to this, I'm going to have 60 people on my front line. I'm going to end up making a lot more money than the person that puts in 3 people and, hopes for a whole bunch of spillover and wants to sit back and make money. It does not work that way. It won't mathematically work. Whoever does the most work makes the most money. There's nothing more fair. That's the way it should be. I don't care if you fall 100 levels down in my hierarchy or in my structure. If that person does more work than me, they make more money. It's just the way that it mathematically works. And you'll get that as you go. But trust me, that is a mathematical fact. So it's unlimited width here, and then whatever develops, like I said, down to 9 levels. And what this means is Wine Lover, you brought in one personally sponsored person, so you're qualified to receive commission on your first level. Now, if they bring someone in, but you still have only brought in one person, but let's say if they bring someone in and they blow it up, and all this business happens as a result of that person they bring in, you're not qualified to get paid on any of it, because you're only qualified to get paid on your first level because you're just a wine. That's why it says requirement right here. Now, the requirement to get paid on the second level is you have to have 2 personally active PWLs. Okay, 2 personally sponsored active PWLs qualifies you to get paid on the first and second level of the unilevel. If you have 6 personally sponsored active people, you are qualified to get paid through the 6th level. So to maximize this, coincidentally, just like in the dual team, even though I just told you to forget about that, once you put in 9 people, you've maxed out, the depth. You're able to get paid all 9 levels deep in your unilevel. So 9 is the magic number. But why you would want to get more than 9 is because of this down here where it says unlimited width. The wider you go on the front line, the more these numbers get crazy down here as it really starts, fanning out, as, the genealogy, grows and develops from what you've initiated by what you personally sponsored. This, it gets crazy, these numbers down here. So that's how that works. And here's another thing, this 10%, 5%, 5%, like I've had 2 people or ask me this, like, I don't understand why if it says, I'm a wine connoisseur, I got 6 personally active, why is it only 3%? Why does someone that only have 1 person get a higher percentage? Because what it means is for that particular level, line 1, you earn 10%. Line 2 and line 3, you earn 5% on those 2 levels. Line 4 and line 5, you earn that percent, 4% on those 2 levels. So it's not like, it doesn't mean you're getting 3% on all of it. You're getting 3% on that line. That's what that percentage refers to. You're qualified to get that percentage based upon what rank you are, how many personally sponsored people that you have that are active. So once you have 9 personally sponsored active PWLs, you're able to get paid all 9 levels deep. And that's how that works, unlimited width. So any questions about that?
Hey, Derek.
Yes.
So in your example, if you have 6 personally sponsored, you're a wine connoisseur.
Yes.
But your personally sponsored have to be 6
Deep.
They have to be 6 deep for you to get the 3%. Is that right?
What happens is all of your personally sponsored people in the unilevel, there is no spillover. All of your personally sponsored go on your front line. So what that means is, let's say one of your personally sponsored people brings in someone who brings in someone who brings in someone who brings in someone. You're qualified to get paid 6 levels deep. But all of your personally sponsored people are being placed on your front line. Now, in the binary example above, not to confuse the 2, but there's only a left team and a right team. So they have to fall under others because there's not a tertiary place to put them. It falls under the left or the right. Here, it's unlimited width. You can have 100 people wide. So there's plenty of spaces to put people on the front line, and that's exactly where they go. And the good thing is you don't have to worry about any of this. The computer automatically places one on your front line level. And, so it does that for you. You don't have to, think about it or be like, oh, my gosh, in the dual team, they're 8 people down because that's where they fall. But in the unilevel, they're here. The computer automatically does it. I'm demonstrating to you what the computer is doing as well.
Yeah, so if we have, let's say we have 20 personally sponsored and none of them have brought anybody else in for whatever reason. We're at that 10% of our personally sponsored, but we're not earning those other percentages because they haven't personally sponsored other people.
Correct.
Okay.
That's exactly right, because no genealogy has developed from those people. So, yeah, they're all on your first level. Correct. Yeah.
Sure. Will you, so will they show, I know how you go in the back and you can see a binary view. I'm only 3 weeks in, so my unilevel hasn't kicked in. I haven't earned anything from there, right?
Right.
So will I see a unilevel looking like the binary or no?
They're working on that. It's not currently available, which drives me nuts because I would like to see it because I have 1,600 people on my team now, and I would love to see what that structurally looks like in the unilevel, but I can't see it. It's not clickable yet. I actually talked to the software designer of the entire system a few weeks ago on the phone, and he said it is a programming nightmare. He said it's something they're working on. It is something that they want to develop, and they are working on it, but it is not available yet. So, and he says I don't have a guess as to when it will be available yet. So.
Okay, thank you for that. And around how much will you earn on each? Let's say you sign up a personally sponsored one, and they sign up one, and they sign them up. How much are you like? Is it like how much would you earn for that? Like, what is the average on earning on something like this? You know what I mean? How?
Yeah, it's, eventually I think the unilevel is going to be the largest source of the income for someone that is in this for a few years. Okay.
Okay.
That's the answer. I think it'll be substantial. It takes a while to develop though. It's a smaller, these percentages are a lot smaller than 20%. So, it takes more people, it takes more time to develop. But, my unilevel alone, like, right now it's probably up to like, I don't know, 650 or 700 a week right now, completely residual, something like that. So it's, it's starting to get there. That's not bad for just coming in, And then now the check match is sick. The check match is sick. So right here, okay, I'm going to move to this for a minute because it's, we're 45 minutes into it and I want to make sure this is the last thing. So I want to talk about this. First of all, let me say this about the term check match. Now, okay, this is the fourth way that we get paid. So forget the Fast Start, forget the Dual Team, forget the unilevel, forget all that stuff right now. Now we're talking specifically about the check match. I know that this is in the same graphic as the unilevel, and I kind of wish it wasn't. I wish they would have made this a little deeper. But the reason why this is like this, what they're pointing out here, the reason why you guys can see me moving this cursor, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The reason why this 10% is here is because it's showing you that if you're a wine lover and you have one personally sponsored person, you get a 10% check match. It's trying to show you that if you're a wine enthusiast with two, you get a 5% check match. It has nothing to do with the unilevel. They're just not in a very artful way, they're trying to show you, what is required for you to earn on these levels. So, okay, for you to earn the 10%, 5%, 4%, 3%, if you have one person, you're eligible to be paid a check match on that person of 10%. If you have two personally sponsored people, you're able to get paid 2 generations of check match. Like, so let's say I brought John in and John brought in Priscilla. Well, I'm getting 10% of John's and I'm getting 5% of Priscilla's. Okay. And then if Priscilla brought in Jennifer, I know it's the other way, but, then I would be getting 4% of Jennifer. And let's say Jennifer brought in Stacy, I'd be getting 3% of her check match. But 3% of what? Okay. That's 10% of what? 5% of what? 4% of what? What I mean is,
I'm sorry, can I interrupt for just a second? Are you saying that, I thought you said initially like that 10%, 5%, 4%, 3% was based off our personally sponsored people that we bring in. So, but then what I just heard here was if you brought John in, you get 10% on John. If John brings in Priscilla, you get 5% off Priscilla.
that's exactly how the check match works.
The latter way. So it's basically you bring someone in, you get 10% off of that. That person brings another person in, you get 5% of that. Yes?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And does that work like similar to the unilevel, or is that just like basically like only along one person?
It works different, and this is how it's different. Okay. The way I don't like the term check match, first of all. And let me tell you why I do not like it. Because let's say if John's check this week was $2,400 for everything, between his Fast Start, his check match, his binary, his unilevel, let's say he made $2,400. Well, if I put in John and he made $2,400, I would say, oh, I get a 10% check match. If his check was $2,400, I got $240. Wrong. Because it's not a check match. It is a commission match of what John would earn from his binary compensation plan and his unilevel compensation plan. Those two aspects of the comp plan is the only thing I'm being matched on. I'm not getting a match of his check match. I'm not getting a match off what he earned off his Fast Start. I am getting a check match off of what he earned from the binary, and I'm getting a check match off of what he earned off the unilevel. That's the only thing I'm being matched on. So, that's why I don't like the word check match. It should be, commission match or something, anything other than check match, because it's not a match on his check. It's a match on 2 portions of the compensation plan instead out of the 4 that are available to us. So it's a match on what he's earned off the. So let's say if he earned $700 off the binary and he earned $400 off the unilevel, that's $1,100, and I would get $110, as 10% of that. And now let's say let's say John brought in Priscilla, and let's say Priscilla had those numbers. Let's say she made $1,100 off those 2 portions of the comp plan. I would get 5% or $55 or 4% or 3%. It goes down 4 levels. But that's the way the check match works. It's not really a check match. It's a commission match of what they earn from the dual team and the unilevel. And to qualify for 4 levels, that is by you being a wine specialist. By you having 4 personally sponsored people, I am now eligible to be paid 4 generations deep off of a check match bonus. Okay, that's what qualifies me. So that's
you are earning. And as far as you're personally sponsored, like if you were a wine specialist, you would be earning 10%, call it commission match, off each of those individuals.
Off of
your personally sponsored.
Correct.
I'm just talking like straight across. You're personally sponsored.
That's exactly right. Yep. I'm earning 10% off of their personal volume from the unilevel, and I'm getting a 10% commission match off of what they've earned from the dual team and the unilevel.
That's big.
Yeah, it is. But you know what? And I'm going to divulge this to you just so you understand how big this is. Last week, what I earned from the check match portion alone was over $1,800 for the week.
Wow.
In commissions, just from the check match.
Wow.
It's ridiculous. A 4-generation check match is so generous. When you start, building this, or I've only been doing this since September. I mean, we have 1,500 people in. I'm going to have 25,000 people in by the end of the year. That's my goal. So, I can't even imagine what those numbers are going to be. It's like, but crazy, man. It really, I'm so excited.
Can you invite us to your estate?
What?
Can you invite us all to your estate?
Right. Hey, Austin's inviting us all to his penthouse suite. If we think what I made is sick, you wouldn't believe Austin's. It's ridiculous.
But it's just so nice to see someone for months have that already, that type of success already. That's really awesome.
Right. And all we're doing is, we're just focused on this. We're working really hard. We're not going to keep up this pace forever, but we're on a 7-day-a-week, 12-hour-a-day pace. We were just busting our butt right now. That's why I'm doing calls all day, follow-ups in between, stuff like this, whatever we got to do, because this is worth it. In a year from now, we haven't even launched yet. It's going to be amazing. But anyways, does anyone have any questions about the check match?
No, I think that's
Anyone at all? Okay.
I do. I just want to make sure that I'm clear on this. In any of these situations, whether it's the unilevel or the check match or any of that, it's literally like you have to unlock the next level in order to reach the next commission, or percentage.
That's a great way to term it. Yes.
Right. So if I'm for the nerds out there, so if I'm a wine enthusiast, if I have 2 personally sponsored people, I still will get the 10% and the 5%. I don't get to get the 4% and the 3% until I unlock those people by adding 2 more people in. Yes.
Correct. That's
Okay,
exactly right.
Thanks.
Yeah. And that, I like that term. I'm going to start using that. Thanks.
By all means.
So
Sure.
yeah, you unlock, as a wine critic, by getting your 3rd person, you unlock this 3rd level of unilevel here. Then you unlock the 4th level of 4% by, but if someone goes inactive, then all of a sudden you go back up. You got to have 3 personally sponsored active at any given week at a Wednesday at 11:59 p.m. to qualify. That's why above and beyond 9, it's good to have insurance people too.
Do you get the unilevel pay if you only have 1, whereas binary you have to have the 2?
not
Correct.
anything.
Okay.
Correct.
Derek,
Yes.
Hey, I want to thank you very much. I don't know if you're done or not, but I gotta run
No
to a
problem.
call. I mean, this was awesome. I mean, really awesome. Answered everything that I needed to answer. I could never right now repeat like you did, but I could for sure send this to someone else, and if they watch it, I'm pretty sure they would figure it out also. So I really appreciate you taking
Very
the time
welcome.
to do this.
Very well.
Can you post the recording somewhere? Or?
Yeah, I'll let Sherry upload it. She's the one that does all that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll get it
Wonderful.
uploaded. Yep. All right, John. You're killing it, man.
Thanks again, buddy.
You're welcome.
Have a
All
good
right,
one.
everybody. I'll let everyone go. I
Thank
think
you.
we're done.
Thank you so much, Derek.
You're very welcome.
Thank you so
Hey,
much,
one-
Derek.
one last
You're a rock
one
star.
last quick one. When is the cutoff of our week?
11:59 p.m. Eastern on Wednesdays. Yeah.
Perfect, thank you.
Midnight 00:00 Thursdays starts the next week. Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Derek.
Thank you, Derek. You're a rock star.
Yeah, you are.
35 minutes.
We have a great team.
That was
Thank you.
awesome.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Mhm.
Thank you.
Thanks. You are great leaders.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Listen to you at 9.
Yes.